Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Genji. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what sort of promos we have going on, see what my rates look like for coaching, all that good stuff.
You grow stronger each time I
Okay.
see you.
My artificial intelligence makes it possible to learn from my experiences and from everything I observe.
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend
Let's
objective
go like this. I just want to see what my rewind is set to. 20. Let's make that 5. Good. Back to Genji. See, I don't like that deflect. I know you're probably in the habit of deflecting fire strikes, and I totally understand why you'd be in that habit. It can be some good ult charge. It protects your team. But I don't want you to reflect that one because you're not going to get anything from it, and you know that. You know they're not actually going to be holding there for any length of time. And now you don't have to deflect where it could actually be useful up here. Play the angle. Okay. I don't know why you thought that was going to be enough. Like, you know McCree has extra health. He has that extra health over a normal 200 HP hero. Like, this was just too early an event. I know that you felt good about those shots, and those shots did hit, and that's good. That you have to be confident if you dash in that you're immediately going to get that elimination, either with the dash or immediately with the damage that follows. And this wouldn't have been enough follow-up damage right here. This would have only been 30 damage, even if the bubble didn't go up here. Like, this isn't good. You know, if you go for a melee after your dash, it's not enough, so this isn't going to do the job. So you need to make sure that if you hit a dash, it finishes you in some place relatively safe, like possibly over here on the edge of the fight. Possibly you dash and it finishes you up here. Possibly you dash and it finishes you back here at the edge of the fight where you have cover that you can use. I don't like this dash that you went for here. I really don't. It's not safe enough to justify dashing, and you could have been punished. What are you doing? You got partially healed. That still doesn't mean you want this point blank fight with Reaper, especially like, oh, look, got a health pack. Yeah, this is scary. Why do you think this is a good fight for you? Okay, Anna's paying attention to you. That's helpful, and now you're probably going to win, but I was not happy with that. That's fine. This is fine. I mean, you have to actually go to these places. Okay, this should have been fine, but you didn't play it right. So this is fine, and you can shoot him in the back while staying away from him, and you can get up over here and continue to shoot him in the back and be annoying. Like, this is fine, but you can't do this, which is I'm going to walk closer to him. I'm going to float around in the open space. I'm going to float around. Now you have no walls to climb on. Why are you here? You could have been up over here. You could have been over by this wall shooting at him, where you then had a wall to climb up to get over to get away from him. You're just chilling in the open space. I was okay with your dash because he couldn't get to you, but you stayed in this space that you didn't have an out from, where you could have in either direction, and you let yourself get closer to him. This is not okay. And this is now a bad dash. It's fine. You're not trying to soften up Reinhardt shield. You're trying to get above the Reinhardt shield. You do not need to be attacking the Reinhardt. Okay, please leave. Please leave to your right. This is fine. Good. Still fine. And now you have to leave. Not sure why you popped deflect there. You just need to leave with dash. Okay. This isn't great. I'd prefer that you were over here right now, but you're here, so we're gonna live with that. Good. Still a 5v5, so you can think about going for the blade here. Do it. What are you doing? Why are you risking losing this fight? This is a 5v5. Are you up one more? Is it a 5v4? Reaper's back here. You guys back here. Technically, you're up one. As soon as this grab hits, though, you for sure go for this blade. So you look at this. I don't know that you're going to win this fight. I don't like this. They're going to have a Reinhardt and Zarya swinging into this grab. They've got supports to back this up. You've forced some pressure on these guys already. Your Anna is definitely in a place that she can get you. Instead, your Hanzo goes for the Dragon Strike, and that's okay. But you would like to get to a point where you two can be charging these ults again. You know, so you would rather that the two of you can charge ults as opposed to Hanzo can charge ults, and you still need to win this fight. This isn't cleanly won yet, so if you want to dash up, pull out your Dragon Blade, clean this up, that would be lovely. And you can do that back here away from the grab and be just fine. Instead, you get yourself pulled in here. Worst of both worlds. Literally the worst of both worlds. Totally fine with the Nano Blade. Wanted the Nano Blade when the Grav came out. Instead of the Dragon.
I'm on fire.
Nice of them to donate the ult back. Fine. Okay. Good. Climb up here, climb up to your left. Just climb up to your left. Don't challenge the McCree, climb up to your left. That was always going to happen. And we wanted you here because this is giving you a nice threatening angle. You get to go like this. Like, you were never going to be in a great place to challenge the McCree. He has a health pack in there. He has the angle to shoot at you. If you hop up here, you get to threaten his backline. That was a nice cross angle from your team. Your team has easy access to heal you if you get into trouble. This is what we wanted, and it's not like if the McCree walks out, which he'd like to potentially do, you can't hit him in the head with shurikens. Hit him in the head with shurikens with nice high ground advantage. I preferred you here as opposed to what you did here, but we'll live. Okay. Fine.
Back at you.
Mm-hmm. Is this even useful? I suppose. Why are you still following him? And now the McCree's on you. Yeah. I don't like how long you were following him. I'd have actually liked you to leave right now, because if you'd left right now, we don't know that the McCree's there necessarily, that we did hear the drop. You're going to get into this fight that your team is ready to take faster than he's going to get back to the fight, because he dropped down those stairs. So if you'd just been like, no, I go back this way, or no, I go this way immediately, as opposed to dropping down to fight him, you beat him back. That's the advantage to playing inside versus outside when you're playing on the flanks. Nope. Yep. You tried to force that fight in a closed space with the Reaper when he wasn't distracted. He's better than you at that. Okay, you're both at 90 for the Nano Blade.
I am
You need to
repaired.
catch up a little bit. You're actually going to go over this time? No, you're going to go through. Okay. Go for your castle again.
This will restore you. Enemy contact.
There's not really any movement on your shuriken throws. Those are pretty straight.
Огонь по готовности. This will heal
Mm-hmm.
you.
Now you have your Nano Blade for real. Let's see how you set this up.
The power of destruction. Pass this forward.
Okay. Pressuring the back line, fine. You can beat this.
You're powered up.
Oh boy.
Fire at will.
I can't really blame you for that. Anna. Ooh, I can blame you for that though.
Double
What? Why? You knew she was jumping left. She was very obviously jumping left. She can't control her movement when she's in the air, which is when you press these buttons. You were trying to greed this so that you'd finish over here so you're closer to the fight. Who cares if you finish a tiny bit more over here? And that's actually better because it gives you a more angle to throw shurikens in here more quickly. Like this was silly. This should have hit. That was bad.
I'm on fire. Yourself in the face of death.
You can push with your Zarya. You have deflect. You're going for the angle. Fine.
I am on fire. I will lead us to victory.
Okay, you're pushing cart for now.
60 seconds remaining.
Shurikens. This is not where you wanted to end up. Pushing the cart for a bit was fine. You, however, wanted to end up here. Yes, I am harping on these. These spots are quite good for you. You get to stand up here and just rain shurikens down on them, and they get very uncomfortable because they go, hey, I would like to shield against this Zarya over here. I would like to shield against this Rhine over here. Okay. Oh, I'd like to shield against this Genji. I can't shield against this Genji and this Zarya. That is not something that I can do. That simply does not work. If I'm like this, I can shield against this Zarya and this Genji. This is much more extreme, much harder for them to pay attention to, and if they pay attention to you, your tanks get to just do work. So this is what you wanted. This made them way more uncomfortable if you'd been up here. Even if you'd given up a little bit of increased movement speed on the carts, in order to pre-take this position, that would have been fine with me. You could have gone to the cart, pushed the cart for a second and a half at the 33% faster from having a second or third person on it, and then spend a second to go up here. That would have been preferable to what you did. Hey, I'm good with it. That Rhine understands the value of high ground. I mean, I'm not really good with it, but it's kind of funny. I mean, you see it coming. You see it coming. You see the animation. She's pulling her sleep dart weapon out of her waistband. You could. Interesting. But, deflect. It's a thing. It's off cooldown. Okay. Again, though, was this your best dash? You dashed over here thinking I'm dashing to safety. Is that better than dashing to here? You can dash to here just as easily. You're not really easier to heal for your team. Yeah, you've sort of got the cover between you and some of the opponents, though not between you and other opponents. This was actually more safety and lets you continue to do more work and was easier for your supports to heal you from. So this was like all better. All better. Dash can get you out of fights, but dash can get you out of fights to good places instead of just generically out. He must be a watcher. He might be. That Rhine might be a watcher.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
Okay, so we've had some questionable dash decisions. We had the failure to dash to the high ground, and now we're swapping over to crit. You going for high ground or no? That Reaper doesn't really scare you if you want to take high ground. I don't like this. I wanted the high ground. That Reaper that we just ignored. Okay. Are we going to see McCree or Genji here?
Ready for battle.
We're going to see McCree. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Genji, because I think that's who you are more curious about having reviewed. So with your Genji, I really want you to think more about your dash. I want you to be going, hey, I can do dashes to get finishes. Like, I dash and that is the final blow on someone, so I get my dash reset back, so I can either stay in or dash out if I feel the need to dash out. Or I dash and I am very, and I mean very confident that within the next half second or so, I can take them down after my dash in. So I dash and I turn and immediately combo them. Or I dash and I turn and immediately melee them, and that will be enough to finish them. Because if it's going to take you any longer than half a second to take them down after you dash in, and you're not 100% certain that you're going to get it, 90% certain that you're going to get it, it becomes more and more likely that they're going to get healing, they're going to get a bubble, they're going to get other people to interfere, and you're going to end up not getting your dash reset. So I want you to think about your dash like that. You're probably thinking, oh, I already do, I just had some sloppy dashes. Fine, that's fine with me. But in that case, dashes like you did against this Reinhardt, we're actually fine. It's totally fine to do dashes in a duel that's truly an isolated one-on-one duel, to just go, hey, I'm dashing 4 damage, 4 distance, to turn them around. Like, that's fine. You can do that in that situations. The dash we were talking about before are group fight dashes. The one-on-one, you can do that, but then use your ability to maintain angles. Use your ability to go, I don't want to just end in a dangerous space with my dash, and this wasn't a dangerous space because you had plenty of time against a Reinhardt to go over here where you can wall climb and do this if the Reinhardt thinks about turning around and coming after you. Where you can walk around here and go do this. Just like over here, you had the ability to dash up here. You had the ability to think about using your wall climb to get up here before they came out. I want you thinking more about, can I maintain these angles, these aggressive angles that actually keep me more safe than stuff like this, and let me do more damage, let me live as an annoying buzz in the opponent's mind of, well, what do we do? That's super awkward, that's super annoying. Like, I want you to be thinking more about these angles that you can take. Genji's really good at taking them between dash and wall climb. These angles that, oh shoot, I'm in trouble, let me dash out, that he can do. That's what I want you to be thinking more about. You did some of the high ground stuff here with this, but I don't want you just thinking about high ground to like sneak up on one person. I want you thinking about high ground to hold off angles against opponents, against teams, to make the whole team have their attention split. That's what I want. Okay. I believe it's Silver Saxophone. They dash, they don't have the reset, and they go, well, I'll pop my deflect as an invincibility cooldown. That is not an invincibility cooldown, and Zarya will teach you why.
Well, I have faith you can get me patched back up, Doc.
Five, 4.
And then we had the nano blade that you pulled way late, but hey.
Attackers incoming. Defend
Oh, you dropped. Okay. Why did you feel the need to roll there? Why?
Defend objective
Yeah, that wasn't necessary. Good. Good. You're drifting a little, but you are shooting at the off-angle target. I appreciate that.
Oh, excuse
Fine.
me.
Good roll.
Double kill.
Good.
Long.
Fine.
Let's get you back out there.
Leave.
Thank you kindly.
Eyes on the back.
Let them up.
I'm a little surprised that you have an off-angle during this. So here you are. They're just kind of waiting. And you seem right now pretty happy to just keep pressure on them. And that's okay. But honestly, you have time. You have plenty of time to set up an off-angle over here. And just sort of be like, I'm going to wait, I'm going to let them push a little, and then I'm going to have this powerful off angle. And that is ultimately going to be worth more than just constantly spamming them from here. Constantly spamming them from here is some value, but it's being like low to moderate value returns. Whereas if you go over here and you go, hey, I'm going to let them push a little, because you have time right now between their real pushes, let them push in a little, and then once they're here and it's uncomfortable, then you go, I still have my cover, I peek my cover a little, and now I apply this pressure, and it's like, oh shoot, this is really painful. And if they keep pushing your team, you can just push in or out. Is it higher risk? Absolutely. But it's like medium risk, high reward, whereas what you're doing is pretty low risk, low reward. And it becomes higher reward because you have high noon.
On the back.
Let them up. It's high noon.
I'm not a fan.
Draw.
Okay.
It's high. Let them.
This is a window. You guys do a stupid amount of damage with your Ashe, your BAP, and your McCree shooting through this window. Maybe even a fire strike through this window. You have a silly amount of damage. Hey, you can even have a damage boost on your Ashe through this window. You guys do a stupid amount of damage to anything in this direction, right? Anything in this direction takes a stupid amount of damage. If they're behind this direction, if they're visible in this direction, they will be deleted. So do you need your high noon? Does your high noon really get you stuff? Are you instantly going to pull the trigger on a high noon? Probably not. So this isn't really more. You don't need more damage through this window. You don't need more threat from this direction. Like, this is plenty of threat damage, whatever we want to call it, from this direction. So we don't combo high noon and window like this. We combo window and high noon, window here, plus maybe high noon here. And what that does is it means that if we sort of shade this area, we're going to try this. It's more than this, but like, let's pretend that this area is all covered by the window. It's more than this because you can do shots through here and sort of get some stuff in this area, and shots through here and get a little bit of stuff in this area. So maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll go like that and add it to this, and like this and add it to this. This is roughly the space threatened by this window. And everything in this space, if it actually stays here for any length of time, the amount of time it might take you to charge a high noon, for example, whether you high noon or not, is going to get eliminated. I'm not worried about the Rhine Shield. It's going to get eliminated. You threatening your high noon from this direction really is not helping. It's not. This is not a very good combo. You threatening your high noon from a different direction, say here, let's put your high noon over here, is going to threaten like this. And you're going to end up covering some spots, namely this. This isn't the greatest example, but you're threatening a spot that wasn't already covered by high noon. And what we could do is we could go, hey, let's delete this. Let's delete this and this and this. And let's threaten our high noon in more. Let's go, hey, that was cool and all, but now I want to get more aggressive with my high noon. And I want to go here. And now my high noon could threaten mean, really, like this, and get all this space over here that wasn't threatened by the window. Or I could round the corner and threaten basically everything like this that wasn't threatened by the window. You see how that works? Like, you want the cross angle to threaten more space with these, and this isn't the greatest place to do the window high noon combo, and I'm not going to pretend that it is, but it's still illustrating the point enough that you're covering different territories. You want to be like, hey, cover that is good against my window. Like that'll work over there. If you're here and you're tucked right here, this is adequate cover against the window. If you have your high noon over here, though, we get to shoot all the way back into here. So like this spot, again, we'll do the little micro here. Our window is getting us this part threatened, but our high noon is getting us this part threatened. And that matters because places they went to run from the high noon, or to run from the window, they still then get eliminated by the high noon. That's what we're looking for. If the same cover protects them against the high noon and the window, it's not good. We don't want that. That's not what we're looking for. It's the same reason that you wouldn't go, hey, we're trying to threaten the same cover with our high noon and our self-destruct. No, we could throw out a high noon from here, and then we throw our self-destruct deep, and when they run from our high noon behind this cover, and the self-destruct lands right here, they go, oh shoot, and they get blown up. Same principle. We want them to threaten different places. We want the cover from one to not give them cover from the other. And they're not going to shoot at your McCree who's vulnerable over here because they're too busy scurrying around running away from the window. Okay. End rant. This is not very good. This is just not very good. You should have pulled the trigger on this because that was plenty to go, I'll take my one a limb. You didn't need that. Glad you're enjoying it, Ryan. I'd say I'm sorry I'm making you feel bad about your gameplay, but I'm not really because we break you down to build you back up. Good stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Who's got the hot hand?
Why did you back up this far? You 100% had a duty to protect your team here. You dodged the shatter. What's going to happen next? The Reinhardt is going to push your team, right? So you want to stay like right here-ish so that you can peek and flash him. So that you can potentially stop this charge with your flash. Like, you can't leave. You can't leave further than here because you need to be able to stop either the charge or the swings that come through to give your team a chance here. You guys have a Valk going. You might be able to survive this as long as this Nano Rhine gets interrupted with either his pins or his swings. You guys have a real chance here. So it's your job with this flash that you have to make sure... What is this? You've backed away too far. What is this? No! No! Your BAP should be alive. That is your fault. Yeah, that was... No. Poor judgment. Jeff Bezos can't liquidate fast enough to afford that from me. Gates might be able to. Gates actually has the ability to transition out of his assets into something liquid. Bezos does not. when we get into tiers of millionaire, regardless of the fact that Musk and Bezos are officially worth more than billionaires like Gates. Gates is a higher tier of billionaire just because of how the wealth is divided and how it's not all tied to a company that if they sell meaningful amounts off of, they... Anyways, doesn't matter.
You're not going anywhere.
Clearing the area. Contact.
It's a long time to have hovered at 5 ammo, but okay. Thank you, Plat. Thank you.
60 seconds remaining.
Let them out.
Okay.
I'm on fire.
30 seconds remaining.
Okay, so it looks like they get the cap. Interesting.
Till Valhalla.
Yeah, you heard it. Okay.
10 seconds.
Unfortunate. And you guys had the lamp and all, so you had plenty of time to make this.
10 seconds remaining.
There. No! No! So close! Okay. I'll live. I'll live. You guys have no one left? You've got these two. Yeah, you're not going to cap it. Okay.
Feel like a new man.
Yep. All good. If you have questions, just let me know, Ryan. I generally explain things pretty thoroughly, but some things I do skip past because, you know, it would be like the 6th time I've explained it, etc. for the day.
Double kill.
Well, hold on. What was the play here? So we're going back in, and we decide that this is happening. And if we decide that this is happening, which I'm okay with, this really becomes a case of if we were recommitting to this, which it looks like now we in fact are, and this is what I originally wanted. I originally wanted on this leave here. So we left here, and I'm good, but I was good just circling back here. Like literally just circling back here and going, hey, is there something to find? Because we can get out, that's fine, but if there's enough of a distraction, we can pop our high noon and have a threatening angle. And here we decide, no, we don't want to. Then we sort of go, maybe I'll go get a health pack. Now they're 2 ticks in and no one is really touching point. And now we're doing this. And are we actually trying to win the point at this point? Or are we trying to just get cheeky eliminations? If this is just cheeky eliminations, so be it. If this is trying to win the point, we'd high noon, but it's really, as we can clearly tell, too late to high noon here. Like, this just isn't going to work because no one can contest the point. The fair is right there. So hopefully this is just cheeky eliminations. But if this is just cheeky eliminations, why are we pushing in further? Like, why would we be pushing in further? The Ana elimination is fine, but now that we've pushed in for this Lucio elimination, we're going to have a much harder time getting out. This Diva is going to chase us down. Like, this isn't great. Now we've just sort of staggered ourselves. And then we use our high noon. If we were willing to invest our high noon in this, it was I walk through here for the health pack, I peek, I see it's too dangerous, I wait for just a moment for my fair to get closer, and then I high noon from here type thing. Or if you had to, I did my loop here that took forever, and they're going to get the point, but I'm going to high noon to try to get 2, 3, 4 eliminations thing. Like this, I manually do work, and then here I'm willing to high noon? Like, what? If we were willing to invest our high noon, there was way better opportunities for that. Instead, we invested after the point was gone. No.
Let's start over at the beginning.
You shot that when it was clearly raved. It's fine. Why would you be at like 75 to 90% of the way through your reload, be in no danger from opponents chasing you, and then decide to roll? Why would we do that? That's just a silly roll. And now we potentially don't have roll if there is some sort of threat. Or if we just, finish up here, pretend the Reaper isn't up here, and take our shots and then want to roll again to have ammo. Like those are fine uses of roll, but this was not a fine use of roll. This was just a wasted use of roll. And now there's a Reaper in our face, and we don't have roll. And that's not great. That's not great. Because we would really like to be able to roll away from this Reaper that just wraithed into our face.
I've got unfinished business. Regen burst activated.
But why?
Regen.
Okay. Why are you going this way? Is this so you can get Mercy's attention? If this is so you can get Mercy's attention, please press X real quick, request healing, and then circle back here. I don't want you to fight down this lane. You have this lane controlled. Bap is shooting down this lane. Mercy is here. Reinhardt is controlling this lane. I want you thinking about, can I clear these people out? Where your hog is. Hog has a good spot. You can back up your hog. You can play from here. Like, this is good. Why would we want to be playing from here? Now, there's no health packs on the path up here, so I totally understand that, why you might want to step this way for a moment to get some mercy help, but, press X if that's what you're doing.
What?
Is that you staring at your BAP to ask for heals rather than actually asking for heals? And this happens. Like, that nade probably wasn't even meant for you. And you got the shift from your BAP. Okay, so why are you still here? Like, your Reinhardt is working this lane. Your Pharah is working slightly above this lane. Your BAP is working this lane, and you're working this lane. Your Hog is the only one who is trying to work this lane, which was good for your Hog, but he can't do it, and the reason that he can't do it is that there's multiple people here. If you had been here, it could have been a case of, nope, I can help my Hog sustain on this lane, then once we win these lane, make these two people drop. Then we can go, hey, Hog, once he's healed up, maybe he gets the pack, comes back, maybe he just gets healed by BAP, maybe Mercy comes up and heals both of you, probably Mercy comes up and heals both of you, Hog drops and pushes them from here, you shoot them from here with a Mercy pocket, your Reinhardt is still controlling this, your Pharah is able to shoot from here, your BAP is able to shoot from here, and you win. And this is way stronger than what you guys are currently doing, which is letting your Hog get overwhelmed, and 1, 2, 3, 4 threats all roughly controlling the same direction. Your Pharah gets a little bit of extra credit because it's higher, and that does make them a little more uncomfortable. And what I mean by this controlling lanes and uncomfortable thing is you guys probably get that this is a different lane or this is a different lane than this is. That's not too wild. But why that matters is think about this Rein Shield. This Rein Shield can effectively block you, BAP, and Pharah at the same time. It's a little harder with the Pharah up here because the Pharah has the ability to shoot over the Rein Shield at things like that Ana. So the Pharah gets a little bit of credit. Why does that work? Because Pharah's at a different angle than you guys. She has some elevation. You guys, you might barely be able to shoot Ana. BAP can't. But Reinhardt can adjust the shield very easily to make it so that you guys can't shoot at Ana. Or even better, Ana can adjust herself behind this cart, and this cart works as cover. If Ana decides to stand, it works against all of you. Vanna stands here. She's got the Rein shield. She can heal the Rein. None of that works. But holy cow! the Roadhog can threaten her from here, or you, if you were up here, could threaten her from here. You see how that works? So like, but you go, oh no, 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 but she could hide behind the cart here from these guys. Yes, but then she's potentially vulnerable to the Pharah, to the BAP. You see that, to the Reinhardt pushing through and swinging and pushing their Reinhardt back and then swinging. Like, that's what you're looking to do. It is way harder when you go, I'm distracted because I want to look this way and I want to look this way, or my cover only works against this side or this side. Like, that's good. It's like a buff to your team's total damage when your team is shooting from multiple directions. But that requires winning control of the lane. So you go, hey, this is cool. We needed to actually win this. And you guys might have been able to win it if you'd actually gone up here. And I was talking the same thing, all this angle stuff with your Genji, when I wanted your Genji up here. So your aim is good for McCree. Your aim is not holding you back at this level, but you need to understand these angles better. You need to understand where you should be better to continue to make this work and climb.
Let them up.
And also, when you're standing on top of your teammates, I forgot why I originally paused it, nades that are meant for your BAP hit you. Damage that is meant for your BAP hits you. Like, they get to go, hey, I'm AD strafing for the BAP, and I'm also dodging you. I'm AD strafing for you, and I'm also dodging the BAP. If I'm AD strafing against the BAP, and you're over there, the AD strafing does nothing, and you just go, oh, that's cute, and you pop them right in the head, because they're not really moving relative to you. And, you throw a fair rocket in this direction, you throw a grenade in this direction, you throw whatever you want in this direction. Shots that are meant for other people can hit you when you're on the same firing lane as them. It would have been much better to be trying to fight for this.
I'm on fire.
This is better. This is a little bit better. You're trying to go, hey, let's split. Now, it's not working perfectly because your BAP has also come this way, but this is conceptually the idea. But see what their Diva's doing, where their Diva's trying to go, hey, I'd like to get this so I can pressure out the Pharah, which is really why she's doing it. But if she's able to pressure out the Pharah, what it'll do is it'll give her this situation where she can shoot down on you, she can cover both of you with Matrix, whereas you guys have to go, do I want to deal with that threat or that threat? That threat or that threat? And it's uncomfortable to deal with both at the same time. And you're dealing with that. And she's going to leave because you're far enough away that she can't meaningfully interact with you. But she could just drop to leave and get the Mega. This isn't like a bad situation for her. Don't lose your mech, Diva. Okay, she's bad. That did not have to happen. She literally could have just been like, I'm going to DM for one tick while I drop here, get the Mega, wait for a second, and now I come back out, and I'm threatening from this direction while my team is threatening from this direction. But whatever. That's like your third missed flash at least. You're going to want to look into that.
Over here.
Why are you rolling? Your reload has already happened. This counts as a reload, and now you decide to roll. They're still far enough away from you. You can still walk up here just fine. You don't need to use your roll yet. You use rolls sometimes right before the fight starts, which is not when we want to use our rolls.
It's high noon.
Probably not while they have beat health. Like, let's think about this for a second. You can see that they have beat health. You see that. You heard the beat. You can see that they have beat health. This isn't really when you'd usually pop it. You'd usually just suck it up and go, I'm going to have to let some of their beat health fall off before I do this. Now, you can charge it up enough, but this is a long time to believe that they're going to be visible to you. And it's a long time for, say, a pink robot to show up in your face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Double kill. 30 seconds.
It's better than the expected outcome, honestly. I wouldn't have given away that you were here. I wouldn't have popped the ult while that beat health was still there. I'd have waited for that to mostly fade. I'd have waited for them to push in a little bit more before you pop that. But that was the right idea of taking an angle, so that was good at least.
10 seconds till Valhalla.
It's a replay back to Fire Strike. Good. Okay. Fine. You have only 3 shots left. Fine.
Smart, don't it?
Okay. Nice to get the win. Nice to get the win. Let's rewind just a touch here so we have a more interesting screen.
It's high noon.
This will work. Okay, so what I want you to understand on both of your DPS heroes is more of this in terms of the angle. This angle is good. Now, you get to do it a little differently with the different heroes. Genji can be a little more obvious about the fact that he has an angle because he has better ways to get out with dash, with wall climb, with deflect. McCree has to be less obvious. His angles are, I'm going to sort of peek late after my team has already distracted them, like is about to happen here, like is sort of happening here. This would be okay. I would prefer it after their backline had rotated out more, and I would prefer it much after their beat health was gone a bit, and both of those things would happen about 2 seconds from now. That would have been a much better one of these. And you missing out from this fight for 2 seconds, you not taking shots for 2 seconds, doesn't actually cost your team that much. It's got an opportunity cost, you not taking shots for 2 seconds, compared to the expected outcome of, hey, you have a pretty decent chance of doing some real work here. So this kind of angle, I want you to think about more. With McCree, you sort of late peek it to do work, and it's a strong, powerful angle. And with Genji, you go, hey, maybe I'm on it. You can still peek it a little late if you want, but you don't peek it like 2 seconds late. You peek it like half a second late after the opponents are on it so that they are still going after your opponents and you just get to be that annoying fly doing damage, getting work. And you did some of it. Like you'd circle up through here and do work on the supports while your team was here. You did some of it, but there's lots of room for you to do more of it, to go do your work from here, to go do your work from here. You tended to do more of it on Genji when you were in pursuit, when you were working your way in, and you tended not to think about it mid-battle where it's like, let me get a little mini reset up to here, or we were doing the point, I'm not pursuing anyone, so I'm going to be here. No. You're going to go set up so that you pre-have this angle. With McCree, you're pre-set up so that you have this angle, and that's good, though you're sort of scared into this angle, I think, by these guys showing up here. I would like this to be a conscious decision all the time. Between fights to go, let me set up in an angle that's going to let me do work. That's what I want. And then going back on first, because this was not a 1 point thing, this can be okay, but if you cleanly win a fight and you've got time, you're going to want to think about rotating over to here and then letting them in for 1.5, 2 seconds, and then opening the corner to do work and go, oh, look, there's a squishy backline I get to shoot at it. Or maybe they keep advancing and you just go, I'll deepen my angle and shoot into the back of them. And if they go, no, we're going to push you, or if they're here and they go, no, we're going to push you, you go, yeah, that's fine. I didn't use roll to take this spot, so I can walk back, or if I have to, I can roll back because I still have my roll. Or I get a lot of work done, I get an elimination or two, and I can use roll to sustain my angle to get another elimination or two. And I don't care if you then catch me because I already got 2 eliminations when I committed my roll to keep my uptime. So that's how I want you to think about both of these heroes. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, you can let me know in chat now or leave a comment. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as I really do appreciate that. That helps me out a bunch, and I love being able to do this stuff here. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos or events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay. I'm not seeing anything else question-wise, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there, but I am going to do another one of these, so I hope to see as many of you as we can in about 5 minutes from now. And if you aren't already getting alerts, you can join the Discord, go to Get Roll and get the Watcher Roll, and you'll get the pings right away when I go live on this, as opposed to the normal notification stuff, which sometimes you'll miss 5, 10, 15 minutes of a stream because you won't know it's there. So if you want to be able to find me instantly when I go into the next stream here, go get that role in the Discord there. Description, link to the Discord in the description below. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Thanks, Temporal out.